This is Desmos, and it's an online graphing package that we're going to use to plot our scatter graph. So our points that we have two values for, pairs of points. So Desmos.com is where you want to go, and into the calculator screen. And this is quite good. You can create an account because it can be a bit tricky to save the graphs. So you can either take a screenshot, but if you create an account, you can link through to the Google account. Which is quite good. And what it also does is it saves the graphs straight into your Google Drive, which is really handy and easy to do. So I'm going to choose my school account, and I've already signed in. It's just 2 clicks to sign in, and next time you use Desmos, you just use as long as you're signed into Google, then you can also sign in quickly like that. So here I am, I'm using my Google account for a very quick sign on, which is nice. I'm going to do the height and arm span graph, which is one of our first graphs in statistics that we do, and I've got the data here from our class that we all put in. So here we have the axes, or the graph base, and I can just pull it around on a touch screen, so that we're just showing the positive quadrant, positive X and positive Y. Okay, so what we're going to do is, first of all, we're going to add a table of values for our X's and Y's, and I'm going to go and put those figures in. Before I do that though, up here to the spanner for my settings, I'm going to tell it that the X-axis, which is the axis down the bottom here that runs horizontally along, is going to be my height axis. So I'm going to put my height there and the units centimeters. Always important in a graph to put the units. And my up and down axis here will be for my arm span values. Arm spans, and that's also in centimeters. Notice how it's already appearing on my graph. Height's down here and arm span is written in now, which is really cool. So I just click outside of that. I've got my graph here. Now remember, X is height, and I put those labels in so that I could just be double sure as I was entering them that I was getting the height and then the arm span in the right order in this table. So starting off with Case, his height's 176, arm span 181. So back here, height 176 and 181. I'm only just going to put 3 points in so we get the idea. Levi 148, 140, and Taupiri 165 square. (165, 165). Where are they? Well, because our units only go up to about 16 and 8 or 10 here, we can't see them. So we're just going to pinch the graph in with our 2 fingers. Just move it down and pinch it in to make things a little bit smaller so that we can see further up the scale. Nice. And now that I can see those 3 dots, I'm just going to pull them this way. Now I can pull just the x-axis out if I want to sort of stretch that along, and I may choose to do that. So we're going out to about 200, 250 along the bottom, so I'll stretch out my arm span axis to do about the same. Once I'm happy with that, I can just hide this stuff here. Actually, let's go back, and we can, no we won't, we'll just put a title on here. Okay, so we're going to call this one 9CS heights and arm spans. Save graph, and we're going to go back up to the spanner here for the settings, and we're just going to click on projector mode. Projector mode just blows up the text a little bit, makes it stronger if we were to project this, but it's also very nice for when we're saving our final graph. So let's hide that way. Now I think there's a printer option here and a share graph option or a save option. If you're using the app device on your iPad, you can't easily save, but this is the desktop application, so you can run it through Safari. Also on your iPad it should work for you, and you may be able to do the Google Drive link up thing. I'm not sure, but you'd have to have a little look at that. So let's save the changes. because we're allowed to save changes, and it says save. Now earlier on I did a practice one and I let it, let's just export it and have a look. Share it with the world. Well, I don't know about that. No, we'll just click out of there. But what I'm going to do now is just double check that that quick little save save the graph for me in the right place. So I'm just going to go to my top file there, to the top level, my drive, and there it is there. So this is the, seems I've got 2 or 3 copies of it, most bizarre. So that's pretty cool. I can do something with that. Hasn't got a lot on it, unfortunately. It doesn't seem to have the units along the bottom easily showing, but it has got a title. So it might be easier for me to do a screen clipping like a photo to save that one there. And I've got my title up there. In fact, I'd much rather have this on there. I think that's enough to give you an idea on that. So that's going to be really useful. Now if you please put all the rest of the people who we have data for on your graph, and I'd like you to work in pairs, because you'll be otherwise flipping back and forth trying to look at that data and trying to put it on. And when you've done your work in pairs, you can choose whether both of you do a graph or whether you share one graph, as long as you're both learning together as you're creating that graph together. So one person could be just reading through the values there and checking the other person's entering them right, whilst you know, your partner is putting the values in through the table in the plus over here. I'm not sure if there's anything further to do. We can edit the list there, I guess. That's about it. Let's have a look at the full screen square. That's pretty cool. Get rid of that. Okay, so hopefully you'll find that really easy and nice, and it'll give you a professionally finished graph instead of you having to get your little pen and plot everything out, because you've already done that anyway. Well done, enjoy.